Thank God for people like you that can keep this history going, because there's history there.
Research. That's where the joy lies, and the fascination. Let the others scurry about gathering their contemporary bits of gossip. This is where the meat is found.
The Man They Couldn't Gag was the name the British tabloid, The Mirror, gave to its sports writer, Peter Wilson. Fleet Street's #1 columnist back in the middle of the 20th century, a time considered by many as the golden age of sports reporting. Over a span of 40 years, he covered 33 world heavyweight title fights, occasionally travelling to and from America from his native UK on the Queen Mary, one of the most opulent cruise ships of her day. According to journalist Patrick Collins, Wilson was the towering figure in British sports writing, patrician, radical, thunderously opinionated, and personally charming. He composed his copy on tablets of stone. Described by fellow journalist and author Norman Giller as a chain smoker who, in the best traditions of old Fleet Street, could sink a bottle of whiskey without spilling a syllable. Years later, Giller continued, I sat at the feet of my hero and asked him what advice he would offer any young sports writer following in his footsteps. In his awfully English accent, he said, simply describe what you see, old boy, and never ever bore your reader. And bore the reader he never did, particularly when waxing lyrical on the brutality of the, as he described him, most dangerous man in the world, Rocky Marciano. Under such banners as, for Marciano's defence against Roland Lastaza, the champion ate him alive. Quote, Rocky Marciano, the 20th century caveman, is still the heavyweight champion of the world, and any man who gets into the ring with him in the next year or so should get the Victoria Cross, the Congressional Medal of Honor, or any other award for outstanding gallantry that you can dream up. When referee Ruby Goldstein, after 1 minute and 31 seconds of the 11th round, pulled the carnivorous Marciano off his prey, Roland Lastaza, he played the role of the anaesthetist who kills the screaming agony of an amputation. For this murderous victory of Marciano's was not a merciful one. He did not chloroform his man with one embalming punch. He ate him alive. And of the Moor fight, a beguiling title, harpooned by a hunter without pity. Quote, with the peering leer of television, the enduring record of the movie camera, the flashing of the press photographers, and notwithstanding the frenzied scream of radio and the mechanical chatter of typewriters, the mind's eye is the most reliable witness. And what I saw there was a sill, glistening sickly brown, who at last had failed to escape from the fatal harpoon. Moore lay in his corner, back propped by the ropes, gaping mouth a cavern of ashes, great staring eyes like those boards which advertise an empty house where once there had been laughter and dancing. He had not sunk into the black pit of unconsciousness, but he was, like the seal, like any animal wounded unto death, who seemed to diminish, and whose glowing vital colours fade as the heartbeat slows. In the background, Marciano prowls with the walk of a hangman, the hour of the hunter having come. No losses, no draws, no arguments. His writing was bombastic, gritty, descriptive, spinning synonyms, but never rambling, more like Chandler detective novels than Shakespearean odes. His one failing, and as a writer it is his only sin, is his over-reliance on using archaic terms to describe the colour of a fighter's skin. This is jarring now, and there was no need to use them then. Yet his work still resonates, decades since his death, capturing in eyewitness detail the power and the glory of Rocky Marciano's reign over all who had the courage to try vainly to wrest the title from him.
This is Rocky Marciano. When I held the heavyweight title, they called me the Brompton Blockbuster. You'll find out why.
Thank God for people like you that can keep this history going, because there's history there. And it's history that has never been repeated.
So I kind of hesitated talking to you at the beginning. But when I read the book, I changed my mind.
Yeah, I'd like to see it do better in No Camp. I mean, I like it, John, and I know, man, you put a lot of work into this, man, and I just would like to see you, get something out of it for your efforts and the work, and as a family member, you've written about things and interviewed people, things that I haven't heard before that were exciting. And
I think that you're really, really getting it down. And I'm not saying that you're not getting Rocky. You certainly are. Keep looking for that balance.